Hello. I had a little technical problem before, but I started the live stream again. So I'm doing this live to answer a question. Actually, a lot of artists have this same question. I opened a question box on Instagram recently and on YouTube, and the question that I got the most is about having your sketch liking your first sketch, and when you start developing your illustration, it starts to look like shit. So you end up not liking it anymore, and there's a few reasons why this happens. So I got the first question, which I'm gonna read to you. uh, this person asked me, actually finishing my art, then realizing I hate it, and adding more and more details to the point where I'm not even sure what's going on anymore. So you are adding more and more detail because you are not liking the result. And why this is happening. So when you're doing your sketch, you are very loose, right? And you are kind of just communicating what is in your head. And sometimes your sketch, the sketch process leaves a lot to your imagination. So when you finish your sketch, still there's a lot of gaps in that art that your brain is filling in. So your brain is imagining what's there. Sometimes you didn't even drew the thing that you are imagining, but just because it's a sketch and it's very loose, you are imagining those things. So when you start to make the art itself from the sketch, it starts to not look so good as you expected. And there's a few ways that you can eliminate that. So the first way, which I'm gonna to show you, is doing these guys. I don't know if you can see my little sketch. So I did this little sketch before I did my final art. So first I did a pencil sketch, very loose, and then I did a color sketch. So a lot of people miss this part. They miss the part of doing a color sketch. And this is one of the reasons why your art starts to be not what you were expecting because you didn't plan before. So you saw that illustration, that little illustration with the books, and here is the final one. Can you see it? Here. Don't know if the camera is focusing. So I decided my final colors before I start doing it. So a lot of people just go from the sketch to the final thing, and this is why sometimes the sketch, the final art, is not what you were expecting. You end up hating it. There's another example. I do this all the time. So I did, for this art, I did first I did the sketch, very loose sketch. Then this is I do it all the time when I think that art is important. I did a second sketch. I refined my lines and did a second sketch, and then I did the color sketch, which is very tiny. Here you probably can't see, but it's a very tiny color sketch here in the corner, and this is the final art here. So this is another example where the art had several processes, and the most of professional artists do their pieces this way. It's very hard to encounter someone that could do the final art directly without planning too much ahead. So if you know somebody like this, please tell me. But it's very hard to find these people. Most artists have several stages in their process. So remember to do the sketch, do sketch with a little better mm, on top of your first rough sketch. Do a sketch, a real sketch, and sometimes I have three sketches in this first phase. I do a rough one, then I improve uh, some things of the drawing, then I do something almost like line work, which is the final sketch phase. Then I start to put on the colors. But before I put the colors on, I do that color schematics too. I choose my colors. I choose different color palettes to see which one will be the best one. And then when I'm on digital, actually, you can change the colors more easily. So sometimes I choose two color palettes, and in the end, I change the colors to see which one works better. So on digital, you can do that, but on traditional, that's not possible. The color that you will choose, it will be the color in the end. And you can take a picture of your traditional art and maybe change it on digital afterwards, but it will not look as good and will give you of a lot of more work to do. So I got a lot of questions about that. Another person said, uh, finishing my art looks somewhat good, but when I finished, I don't like it anymore. So it's the same thing. But also, it can be that you are looking at it for too long. So when you are looking at your art for too much time, sometimes you can't see anymore what is good and what is not good. So I would suggest trying to step out, see other things, maybe step out for a few hours or even a day and come back later, and you will see things that you are not seeing before. So that's the other thing that can happen. So with both of these techniques, you can stop overworking your art. What it means to overwork? It means that you are adding so much more details to fix what you didn't plan before. So make sure to plan before, plan everything, plan your sketch, your colors, your lines, your light. I even do light and shadow sketch sometimes. So plan everything before, and then you will not regret it afterwards. Okay, so that's kind of the main lesson here. Plan it, and you won't feel the necessity to add detail to fix problems in your art, right? So that's it for today, and I will do a whole video about this sometime. And I have more questions that you guys sent me that I will answer, maybe in this format, like a live stream, or maybe in a short format. Let's see. So have a great weekend. Enjoy your Friday. I have many things to do, but I decided to do this live stream. So we'll go back to work and maybe finish before the sun goes down. Bye.